Hello,
Greg is a
everybody.
swinger.
Welcome. Oh, we're talking. What? What was that? Ordeals of Livistio,
Nothing.
session 17. Hello. Hi,
That's
guys.
us.
It's your boy,
Deals.
John.
Hello.
Oh, we're getting dabbed on. Gotcha. We're drinking apricot tea from Snefru's camera. What? Guys, how are we?
Hi, we are good.
Crickets.
I was just waiting to see if anybody was going to talk.
Yeah.
Just leave you in your
Yeah, I
misery.
kind of invited
I'll
on
talk at
myself. Henrietta, how are you?
I'm great. I'm not swinging, but that's
You're not
okay.
swinging, got it.
I'm
Greg,
not
the
swinging.
swinger in our call, how are you?
You know, quite well. I've gotten into New Jack recently.
New Jack? What is this?
He was better than Old Jack. This was a really good joke if you
I
understand that New Jack swing is a thing.
Jeff,
when
how
you
are
promise
you?
you I'm
I was
clever
gonna make that
sometimes.
Talk right over that.
Pink monster.
A pink monster? What flavor's the pink
Yeah.
monster?
Strawberry.
It's not
Uh,
strawberry.
elderberry.
Exactly, it better
Oh,
be
Sorry,
strawberry.
it's not strawberry. It's ultra strawberry dreams.
Aw.
Ultra strawberry dream.
Oh. Yeah.
I had one of those last night.
I
How do
You
you-
had
dreams.
ultra strawberry dream.
I did.
It went on forever.
Yeah.
It went on forever, all night long.
How did they capture a dream in this poultice?
Oh my god. Oh,
Hello,
alright,
Quinn.
that was weird. Red, how are you
Hey,
doing?
John, how's your week?
No, fuck you. I'm going through all the players. You wait. You wait your turn. Red, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, John?
Fuck you, Red. Why did you do that? Corin, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm just really disappointed. My friend was gonna make cicada cookies, and they couldn't find any of the cicadas. Guess they're all hiding now.
Wow.
What?
What?
Is that a real thing, or are you
I mean, cicadas are edible. Yeah, of course they are.
Cicada.
Okay, so
just
you
call
were
it-
looking forward to bug cookies. I
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that we were aware that that was
You
real.
think cicadas were fake?
You put the whole.
No, I think that the idea of a
Are they?
cicada meal cookie is gross, and I was making sure that what he was saying was that he was excited for bugs in his cookies.
All right, Greg, you have
Yep.
to understand. He's already in character. He's role playing as a grizzly bear in real life.
Understood,
now.
understood.
Eating bugs.
Method.
Rube, how are you
Eat
doing?
bugs from the trunk.
Rube, your camera did not just freeze.
Nah, no. But look at him, he's frozen in a smile. So
I know.
precious.
Quickly. Oh, now he's Rube. Oh,
Am I here? Okay.
Oh.
It froze.
We say his name enough times, he'll come back.
He just
Rube,
times?
oh
3
no,
times. Yeah.
he's a robot.
Okay, hold on.
I always suspected Ruby was a Terminator. I just don't know who he's here to kill.
We know who he's here to kill, guys.
It's Greg.
Oh, okay.
You are
Fair
my
enough.
target.
I'd kill me too if I was a Terminator.
That's dark.
That's horrifying.
Fuck this tax man.
For real.
Oh.
He's my favorite tax man.
Oh, your internet's caught up, Rube. How are you doing? John, can you turn your
I'm
mic up a
fantastic.
bit? Oh, can I?
Can I?
No, I can. Soul Crusher in the chat.
Oh.
Oh. I'm sorry. Rube, please tell me about your festival you just went to.
Oh, it was a lot of old music and a lot of swinging and dancing Mexican couples and a lot of beer, and a lot of quesadilla tacos.
Ooh, very nice.
Beautiful.
Guys, I've had
What
a-
kind of consomme came with your birria?
Uh,
But-
lots of onions and cilantro. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Traditionally, you dip birria in a like
In the
it's
in
called a
the
consomme.
consomme.
It's
But
like
the
a
consomme
fat.
is made from the birria. It's just the sauce that you can use the
Sometimes.
meat in.
Okay, when you're
Sometimes.
getting
Where are you from? Where?
beef, you can make consomme from beef, from the goat, from different
From lamb.
it's-
I'm aware.
Right,
Beef
and
consomme.
it's not always. That's what I was gonna say. In some Mexican cuisines, instead of using the goat, you have a beef consomme, which I think
That's
is
wild.
delicious.
I didn't know that. I'm Hispanic, so I feel like I would know this, but I don't.
It was a quesadilla. What I got, because I'm white, was quesadilla grilled cheese.
Yeah.
That's where they take like big Texas toast and they dip that in the consomme and then they make a grilled cheese with it.
Huh.
All right,
Does it like come
That
with
is
like
interesting.
tomato soup too, or? Like...
It has the consomme, which is tomato
Yeah.
and beef and
Okay.
seasonings that are delicious. It's so good. You can just drink the consomme. It's so good.
Gotcha.
I had facts.
Okay, guys, my week's been hella busy, and we're capping it off with a severe thunderstorm. So if I suddenly go out, I live in an old-timey neighborhood. The wiring's not great. Sometimes a tree slaps a power line down the street, and I'm without power for 8 to 13 hours. Fun times living here in Texas. But so long as the power's going and my internet's serving me, we are going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons, starting with a recap as I pull up my planner. Guys, what happened last time?
Things and stuff.
Uneasy negotiations.
Uneasy negotiations indeed. Correct.
We had to give up the funny sword. It's gone forever.
A funny
We did.
The
sword.
prince
But-
successfully passed off the cursed blade as the blade of his grandfather,
Maybe.
and the Divinius folks gave over the halfling that we had talked to originally as a
It's
as
a
a
really
hostage.
shitty hostage.
Yeah, and we determined that it was kind of a shitty hostage. Maybe they didn't really like that guy all that much. To kill if they attack before Njord is dealt with. The bridge was then swept away by the Bear Mother, but
Who don't care.
everyone was safe because the prince didn't want the negotiations to be sullied by the death of the delegation from Divinius.
I feel like the deal would have not gone through if that happened.
We met a merchant on the road who was selling art objects. They also seemed to have some kind of VIP or something they were guiding throughout the lands.
We were given a bounty on Toronto of Bulia.
It's true. How
That
much
was
was it?
I was waiting.
I actually missed that in my notes.
They told us that he was a devil worshipper, or like practitioner of
Hot.
demon.
Sexy.
Yeah. Let's see if I wrote down. It was 1,500 gold bounty on his head,
It's a lot.
and they made it sound like alive or dead.
I have to ask, if anyone worshipped Ballsy, would they be considered a devil worshipper by the eyes of the
By those
Divinius folk?
frigid people
They'd be
with
called a
sticks up their
fan.
bums? Yeah.
I mean,
Fan.
I believe there was
I'm
only
a
one
fan
way
of
to
the
find
devil.
out.
Right, there's only one way to find out. You're right.
Agreed. We need to start a church, a Felix, a Church of Felix,
Also,
The
it's
Cabal
gonna
of
be
the
a year.
Sword.
a ball of the sword. I like it.
Starting a new religion right now.
What else
So-
happened?
We took a
we
riverboat
made our
back
way-
north. Go ahead.
I like your notes. You take it over.
Sure. And on the way, riding the riverboat north, we ran across Killigan, who is a former pirate that was hired by the king to
Found
watch
out
over
not
our.
so former.
Technically, not so former. Not so former
Not
pirate.
so
he's still
former
a
pirate.
I mean,
Not
sure.
so former
Depending on how you,
pirate.
he's a privateer
Well, no.
now, right? Because he works for the government.
He has a letter
Uh,
of mark, so he's a pirate.
Current pirate, former orc.
Yeah, he's a former orc,
Former
but
orc.
he's still a pirate. So, anyway, well, on that boat, Yancey managed to suss out that they had been raiding Neordian villages on behest of the king. I don't exactly remember exactly all that our dear prince went over with Killigan in a private meeting. Greg, can you fill us in?
We mostly were learning the strengths of the waterways, what they did, the placement of our troops. This was a very logistical meeting for the prince, who tried to insinuate that Killigan come to the capital around the thaw, and Killigan was like, "Boy, you ain't no war general," and I was like, "Yeah, you got me."
Yeah, he got slapped down because he's like, "I work for the king and not you."
Yeah.
It's true.
Someone else finally said it.
Then we ended up back at the capital where Yancey met up with their uncle and
Hunkle. It was Hunkle.
Hunkle, yes, Hunkle. And he said that the demon that he was tracking was tracked down to the nearby village where that bully had been brutally murdered. Yancey also was able to show their following in the line of ancestry with their paranoia and ability to key in on some of the of Killigan's actions ahead of him. So that
really fun.
Yancey was able to get some
genetic
family acceptance, which is awesome. Let's see.
Paranoia, 100% inheritable trait.
Yeah.
Or at least trainable trait. That was the big thing that they said, is it was trained.
It also encouraged.
Ursale went and met with Brogvarsh, who said that there are some weird things going on in the court, and the king didn't seem to be faithfully upholding the faith. And so he was really worried about that and wanted to see if he could bring in the prince to be able to try to suss out a little bit more of the king's plans. Ursale recommended that the prince was, I guess, amenable to the faith, and that some of the entourage might be trustworthy. Then I think we left on...
Who did Brogvarsh say was the most trustworthy? Prior to you.
Yancey.
No, I think it was actually, I believe it was Felix, right?
Yes, it was. I want you to take one whole experience point for remembering that detail. Congratulations. The micro rewards, since we don't do inspiration.
Alright, yeah,
we don't do microaggressions at this table, we do micro rewards.
Exactly.
So, and then, I think the thing that we left off on was that there was a meeting called with the king and the prince's entourage.
Yes. Excuse me. I'm at that age whenever I sneeze, all of my sinuses come to the bridge of my nose and I can't breathe for the next 2 hours. So I sneezed while you were giving the recap and I'm almost dying. Hey, there's Red. As John finishes filling up air so that all the players can return to the table, ... Headphones, Red! You guys were summoned as a party to speak with the king. No longer are we having clandestine meetings with dad and boy, or son and man. Instead, it is now local regent plus random super legal force of adventurers. A terrible combination by any means.
We really all just have like a piece of paper that just says "I do what I want" on it, and we just...
I do what I want.
We have
Oh, is that what
agreement.
my piece of paper says?
Yeah. No, that was not what your piece of paper said.
You-
But if you ask Yonsei will say yes, and then you can give it to someone, and that'll be great. That'll be really cool and great for everyone.
Party, I would
Especially
like to
Yonsei.
focus in on the scene of you all entering the courtroom, having been summoned by either your prince or a knight or a runner or the queen who just by chance was passing by full sprint and was like, hey, I think my husband needs to see you, before resuming her sprint. Where you all have gathered. You are right outside, we'll say, giving you all a moment to check in on yourselves rather than throwing you all media res into a potentially politically dangerous conversation. You all look to one another. Does anyone say anything?
Don't know. I'm not sure
Apparently
anything
we-
needs to be said.
We all look to each other and shrug.
Yeah.
I was
Um,
hoping someone could fill time for a second while I blow my nose.
I
getting
apparently
promoted?
no, Yonsei can always fill time. Apparently we did not tell our uncle about the shapeshifter. And I don't know if that was a plan. Like we weren't supposed to be telling, but I did. I did tell him about the shapeshifter.
Well, I appreciate you letting us know that, but
Just letting you know.
the idea was to perhaps tell him in a controlled manner where we could be sure that he was not.
Semi-controlled. We were in my room. No one else.
I'm
I think,
sure
was
that
there.
your instincts in the ways of discretion and
Very discreet. Yeah.
very discreet. You're well known for your discreet and subtle behavior, so I am sure
Yes.
everything was well handled.
It was great. I did cry afterwards.
Oh,
It was nice.
Impressive.
I felt, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was authentic cry. It was not those fake cries that I do or do not do. For
We're supposed to
for
talk to
attention. And I'm really happy that he now knows, because now if something bad happens, there's an adult that can maybe do something.
It's nice to know that we have such a competent and capable hunter of devils on our side.
Yeah, he ran out of the room, so I'm assuming he's going to do great things. Felix, if he asks you questions, just nod and say yes.
Unless he asks, "Are you?" a
Like I
demon?"
Like I usually
Then-
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, Bear Daddy, you had a question for the audience.
Wait, are we children?
How old are you?
Was
are
that
you?
the implication that
How
I
old
mean,
are you?
you
I'm
just
a
made?
21-year-old half-elf. I'm closer to adolescence probably than I am to full manhood as
He's
a
like
elf
14.
boy.
I feel like in
Ursala
terms
is 14, the size of a grizzly
like-
bear.
yeah.
Wait. How long does Tiefling lives again?
It's a great
Uh,
question
Yes.
to be asking,
I'm
like your
old?
doctor or something, Felix.
I'm old?
Dizem, how do tieflings age? You're our doctor, Dr. Dizem.
That's terrifying.
How old are you currently?
That's a great question.
Felix.
I don't know how much lucky he's got left.
Judging by that mustache,
God.
he's anywhere from 12
yeah,
to
I'm in my
26.
20s.
Ugh, it's too much for my heart. Can't handle this.
Listen, I'm doing what I got.
Yeah, I
And I don't got
categorize young people as people that have not had children of their own yet, and then therefore don't have to be grown-ups yet. So
Just
I will-
in case you really do care about the information, Felix, tieflings in standard 5e by the book lore age at the same rate as humans, but tend to live a few, quote-unquote, years longer.
Now, a
Right.
few
means
It's like
nothing.
a bonus.
Yeah. Then I feel like the next adult in our group, it goes Bear Daddy because he's a daddy, and then it goes Snefru.
How old is
Um,
Nephril?
Finally! I'm not a child, I'm a gnome!
I know this. I'm not racist. I'm not the problem.
Hi,
What if
it's
we could-
me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Oof.
One day, though, we'll have to do something, Sneffer, that does involve dressing you up as a child to get somewhere we're not supposed to be. And
I've
I hope
already
you're
thought
ready
of
for
that.
that day. Yeah.
I've mentally
Sniffer's
prepared.
prepared. I have my child disguise at the ready.
It's just like a leader hose and he holds on a hook that he just pulls out of frame. As you guys are having this light-hearted conversation, ordering yourselves by what appears to be like maturity,
Vibes, yeah.
a old man sticks his head out the door, and you all recognize Argyle, of course. Good old Argyle with his desiccated face and his liver spots sort of growing day by day. He greets you. Glynis,
Hi, Argyle.
your Papa wants a word with you and your friends.
Papa.
I have heard as much.
Yep.
Are they ready?
Argyle,
Shall
do
we
you
enter
call
the
him
court?
Papa?
Oh
to his
yes,
face?
that's why they sent me out here. They said I should stand where you're standing and send you all inside.
Excellent, Argyle. Well, why don't you come stand right here? I'll put an X on the floor for you. I'm sure you can see it with your 7,000 prescription. And we'll make our way inside.
All right. He switches spots with
Good
you.
to see you again, Argyle.
You too, Glynis. He questioningly asks you.
Yes, me. I'm Glynis. That was Yonsei, actually. He was messing with you.
Oh,
As
that
you know, Yonsei, practical
rapscallion.
jokester.
One day they're gonna execute him.
Jesus.
Yonsei, you start sweating a little. as you enter.
That's what you want to hear right before you meet the king.
Entering inside, you can see that there has been not a remodel, we'll say, but a clear increase in security, let's call it. Rather than just a singular knight, all knights are on standby. Looking majestic, clad in plate armor, wearing their nice royal blue sashes. One even has an extra cape he popped out, as though he was going to be inspected. Full helmets are on. You look at the king, who is sitting by the throne. You see the stairs up to your private quarters, Glynis. You've been through this throne room. This is fairly central in terms of how the keep is set up. You look at your dad, who is holding a piece of paper that you recognize.
Uh-huh.
This, you
What do I
immediately
recognize it
notice, is a writ that was written in the dark light of a person's lodgings.
Okay.
As you all approach, getting within 20 or so feet of the king, he will... Glynis, did you write this legal document?
I asked to see it.
He passes it to his bodyguard, who will descend down the small steps and hand you the writ you certainly wrote. Specifically about your uncle, Nemolia.
I look it over as if I'm reading it, and then I nod my head and hand it back to his bodyguard and say, yes, Your Majesty. This was written by my hand.
Why?
It had become apparent that Pneumolia was going to be investigating our country and our throne, regardless of what I said or anyone else. And when he came asking for a writ, I attempted to frame it in such a way as to limit his investigatory scope and powers, so that his traversal of our lands was not potentially catastrophic.
And if it was catastrophic, you would be the one to put your uncle in chains?
Yes.
He looks up, as apparently it's now hailing outside your castle currently in the early spring days of the 14th of March. just for my calendar trackers out there. The king, Gilmori, eyeballs you for a long moment, glancing at the others of your retinue. Along with this writ, I have heard tale you have made treaty, albeit undocumented treaty, with Southern raiders. Is this also true?
It is. The Paladins of Divinus threatened cross our borders, and while they did not pose the immediate threat of overrunning our country, I know that there are many things that occupy our attention at the moment, and I look at him pointingly. I said, we needed time to address those before turning to them. I have found a way to keep them away from our borders and away from our farms and villages until after we deal with the other concerns of our country.
And yet you have no legal binding aside from a hobbit that apparently they care nothing for anyway?
We have a political prisoner, a friar of their esteemed religion. I have also made contact with the druids of our land, and the Bear Mother requested the flooding of the river. It should keep them at bay for some time.
And those waters, do you know where they will go?
Into the river to the east, whatever we're calling that one.
Exactly. Which is our main economic source, where traders come, struggling upriver, and crippling all of the ships that head down that river. You have, by your own admission, admitted to causing not just a delay, but sabotaging any merchant coming to see us.
Glynis nods, says, it's... if that is your interpretation, and so be it.
It is not an interpretation, it is a consequence of unleashing, apparently, the divine retribution of a primal one.
Yes. Glynis doesn't see a problem with this, and so while his father berates him on the potential delay of merchant ships, Glynis stands there like, yes, this is a thing that has happened.
Your father can't even show his disappointment. there's not enough emotions he has access to, or visual cues he has learned, to have his son admit to all kinds of stuff, we'll say. He... I hate doing this to you, Glynis. But you need to go to your room.
I don't know how I would phrase this, as I am not a member of any noble court. But I don't think Glynis is willing to accept being, like, scolded and sent to his room. I think Glynis would rather be, like, put on trial or something, right? Like, I think Glynis is like, no, if I have broken law, or, like, if you find fault with my actions, then, like, I want to see that out, right? Like, you speak of consequences, let me see them, rather than being sent to my room. Like, I am in a full court with the people that I ostensibly will one day lead. I'm not going to see every member of the royal court and every knight merchant of the city, like, see a small child sent to his room.
Very
right?
well.
And I don't know what that sounds like or looks like in a speech, but, like, that's the sentiment.
Yonsei, I don't know if you were raising your hand or fighting an animal.
The Yonsei is fighting the animal inside that really wants to talk.
Well, that opportunity will come quickly as Glynis demands to be arrested and put on trial. Like, I have...
Well, like, I don't know if
Bad
that's
choice.
I don't know if that's the, like, proper response, but, like, basically, yeah, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
be sent to my room. Like, if there's gonna be consequences or something, then, like, bear them out here and now, right? Like,
Okay. The 4 additional knights begin to approach you, Glynis. And will
My
demand
king,
you surrender your weapons so that
do
they
we
can
wear
escort
weapons
you
into the?
to the dungeon.
Yeah. If I'm wearing weapons, I will hand them over.
Yonsei, Felix, Dizem, Ursale, Snefru, what are your immediate responses to this?
Yonsei's ready to talk. He's ready to be a lawyer.
Well, like outrage, and then